الله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الخلق أجمعين محمد وأهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. The subject of fiqh, we have reached issue 233, rules about using utensils. Of course, using ordinary utensils has no problem, but the rules here which are mentioned about using a utensil if it is made from hide of a pig or dog or non-halal animal not slaughtered in a halal way. Naturally, its skin is najis, and then it is made of that. He said naturally because these utensils made of skin are popular in different countries. They may use different type of skin of a cow or skin of a goat or skin of pig or dog, whatever it is. So I want to mention that though it is a hide and let us say they added some chemical things to that skin there is no change or transformation of the skin. The skin will remain as najis. And using food, if naturally the food is wet, is haram, and that is najis. Unless you put something which is dry, okay, no harm if it is dry, because we said the najasat is not transferred from dry to dry, transferred if there is humidity in between or if it is wet. So that is the first issue. The issue after that, 234, and onward, is discussing about the gold and silver utensils. You see, utensil means what? It should have container, like contains water. If you put it, water will stay. That is called utensil. So there are those utensils, if they are gold and silver, whether they are for soup or whether they are for tea, or for any purpose, or for drinking water, if you have glasses made of gold or silver, that they are not allowed to be used. So gold and silver utensils are not allowed to be used, and one has to use anything else which doesn't have a pure gold and silver. In the other issues we discuss, if, let us say, hand of the tea cup, only the hand is made of gold. Said if the hand are not called as container, then there is no harm. But if the hand is called a container, then it is not allowed. The other discussion here, certain containers are using gold-plated, not real gold. So is that also haram? Said no, that is not regarded as gold. Gold-plated utensils are not pure gold. So what we discuss are those who are pure gold or silver. These are not allowed. But if they are gold-plated, then it is okay. Well, he said to use things at home made of gold and silver, he said there is no harm, though it is better to avoid them. But anyhow, these are not eating or drinking by gold or silver utensils. But still, he says, is not much recommended. That is probably taken from Islam as too much luxury. And the Muslim has to live a normal, ordinary life. To exceed limits of luxury when there are so many people who are poor and needy is not a right thing. It may not be haram, but he said it may not be advisable in that sense. So actually all these issues from 233 to 241 is discussing about gold and silver utensils. We come to the second main subject, and that is performing wudu starting from issue 242. Well, in wudu, said it is obligatory to wash the face and the hands and to wipe the front portion of the head and the upper part of the feet. Well, it is said wudu is made of 2 washes and 2 wiping. 2 washes is washing of the face and 2 hands, and 2 wiping the forehead and the 2 feet. So that is the wudu. Now the details which comes on those issues about the wudu, he said, what do we mean by the face? What are the limits of the face? It is the limits, the boundary of the face is between the hair for the normal people, where the hair of the head is growing, and the chin. So between these two in length, that is the length of to be washed, and in width, the distance between the thumb and middle finger. So this is the distance between thumb and middle finger to be washed. That is what is obligatory. Now, if somebody doesn't have hair, is bald, should he wash from part of the head? He say no. To be washed what usual people have, what is the normal. If somebody has more hair in his forehead, his hair comes near the eye, so he said he has to go and wash what is usual forehead for the normal people. Now, question comes, if somebody's hand is small, so he will use his small hand. He said, no, what is the normal hand size, the limits? If his hand is too big, it may cover all the head. Is that obligatory? He said, no, not his hand. But you say the hand is the usual normal hand. If his hand is bigger than normal or smaller than normal, then what he has to wash is the normal medium-sized hand. That is what we call. Now, come other question. If there is some dirt at the corners of the eye, especially some people in the morning when they are awake, they get, so naturally has to be removed before performing wudu. If there are any barrier in the skin, like ointment, like lipstick, or something else, which prevent water from reaching the skin, has to be cleaned and washed before wudu, because water of wudu has to reach the skin of the face. Well, again, of the hands, the same thing, washing. The other question comes here, is that limit only to be washed? You say practically it is impossible to wash exactly that limit. So you need to wash a little more to be sure that you have covered what is obligatory part to be washed. They call it as a scientific prerequisite. I mean, you can't say exactly in millimeter that you cover the face, Literally, your hand may be little right, little left, 1 millimeter here and there, so you have not washed exact part. So in order to wash it, you say take little from this side, little from this side, little from up, and little more. So the boundary which is obligatory, you take little more. That little more, though it is not obligatory, the obligatory is the exact size, but you cannot practically do it. So it is obligatory because it is a prerequisite for it. Scientifically speaking, that is prerequisite, no other option. So they said you take little extra from here and there, and that will be the right way how to wash. And the other point here, what about inside the eye, inside the nose, inside the lips? He said, no, inside is not necessary. What is outside that is obligatory thing. What is inside is not obligatory. But sometimes you need to go little inside in order to cover whatever outside the nose or lips, little take inside, so whatever apparent from the lips to be washed. Again, as we said, scientific prerequisite, you need to exceed little. So that little is a must, but not really to go inside, because inside is not obligatory to be washed. We have to wash whatever is outside. And we have to start from up down. So when we put the water, we do not put water on the mouth and then put the hand up. Right away we put the water on the forehead and come down. So we put wash with water from up down. Some people will put it on their mouth and then they take their hand up. So they wash the mouth before they wash the forehead. These are some practical mistakes done by people. Actually, his intention has to be from up down. So he put water on the forehead and then bring his hand down. Well, the corners here between the nose, if you put your hand, you see some part cannot be washed easily. So you have to make sure that you are washing these parts, because your hand, if it comes on the nose, there is a gap, So that gap, make sure that you wash it, So when he wash, again, he makes sure that he wash that gap in order to make sure that he has washed his face. Well, another issue here, he said the hand should wash the face, not reverse, that the face will wash the hand. What does that mean? The hand should move down to face the head. Some people put the hand fixed and raise their head back. No, this is not allowed. It is actually the face is washing the hand, not the hand washing the face. Well, some are lazy, I don't know why. Their hand is fixed and then they take their head up. That is not the right way. Actually, the face should be fixed and he bring his hand down to wash it. So that is important to be noticed. And also about washing, how many times to wash? Said 1 time is obligatory. And 2 times is recommended. 3 times and more are haram. So there is no one. 1 time is fard. 2 times is sunnah, recommended. 3 times is bid'ah. So it is either 1 or 2 times. Now what do we mean 1 time washing? Is it to put water 1 time? They said no. You may put water 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. But to cover the face completely, to make it first wash. Because sometimes little water you put is not sufficient to cover all the face. So you put it twice or you put it thrice. If the weather is hot and dry, for example, and then the water evaporates quickly, so your hand will be dry, so you put 3-4 times water in order to complete the first wash. So when you complete all the corners and all the obligatory parts of the first wash, that is regarded the first wash. And then after completion, to wash the second one is the second wash. However, because some difficulties, the people may be restricted to the first complete proper wash, that is sufficient, Well, it will come while there are some difficulties to be noticed by washing the hands, We will discuss them now. So after completing washing of the face, you start washing the right hand. The right hand start from the elbow joint down to the fingers, to wash from the back, from the front, all from the elbow to the fingers completely. Now from the elbow again, exactly you cannot draw a line to the elbow. So we said as a scientific prerequisite, you need to go little above the elbow in order to make sure you have covered all the areas, Okay, maybe 1 inch above you go so that you are sure you covered all the elbow completely. So start from the elbow up, down to wash the back, forth, and so on. And then when it comes to the fingers, you wash all the fingers. To put the fingers inside the fingers is not obligatory, but it will make it easy to wash, because the parts here, how to wash them? You need to put the fingers inside in order to wash, or from the back you put the fingers, so that you wash all the sides of the fingers. Some people wash one by one the fingers, or some people they put all 5 fingers on 5 fingers, so they wash them all, in order to make sure that he washed all his fingers, So he start from the elbow down to the fingers. Again here, the left hand should wash the right hand, the right arm, let us say, not reverse, in the sense that even if I keep my hand in this way, I should wash from below up without moving the right arm. If the right arm move and the left arm is stable, actually the right arm washed the left hand. That is not allowed. Not the move. Arm should be fixed, and if that is difficult, better to keep it up down so you can wash it without moving the right arm. This moving is not allowed. You just make it stable and then wash up down from the elbow down to the fingers, from the front, from the back, from all sides, to make sure that you have washed completely, and then you have washed the hand completely, and the fingers, the tips of the fingers, all has been washed completely. And then come to washing the left hand. Again, left hand is washed with the right hand, or let us say left arm, more than the hand, arm from the elbow. Actually, hand in Arabic, up to the joint here, or up to the ear, or even up to the shoulder, all called hand, But probably to use the word arm is better to cover. So by the right hand, I put water on the left arm, and again from the elbow down. So I put water once, twice, maybe thrice, and then I move. The left arm should be fixed. The right arm, the right hand is the one which moves to wash it completely. And again, you come to the fingers, is better. Well, the rings, you can keep them if you like to wash below them, or you can take the ring out for making it easier to make sure, because if the ring there, you have to move the ring and wash below the ring. That is possible to keep it, but it may be easier to take them out. And then also the left hand and all the fingers, the tips of the fingers, that to finish it. Now when you finish washing the left arm, you should not take more water for wiping the forehead. Many people do that mistake. We have to wipe with the remaining water in our right hand to wipe the forehead, and then to wipe the feet with the right hand, and the left feet with the left hand. So whatever water remained, that to be used, not to get any additional water. Additional water actually will spoil the wudu. You have to perform wudu again. So sometimes if you do the second wudu, as I said, the second wash, we said first wash is obligatory, second is recommended. When you do the second wash, sometimes you cannot keep the original water of wudu there. That is why I say practically maybe people difficult for them. So do the first wash, which is obligatory alone, is sufficient, and your wudu is correct without practically going into certain mistakes, and then your wudu may be incorrect. Now come to the wiping of the forehead, not the forehead, the front of the head. What part of the head? It says the first quarter, which is opposite the forehead. From the head, if you divide the head into 4 parts, the back, front, right, and left, so it is the right side, the front side, which is opposite to the forehead, not to the sides, not to the back. So actually this part is to be wiped. And you can wipe it, or the wiping is actually once. You take your hand and wipe it once. How much to wipe? He said, if you wipe it little, that somebody see you, he said you have wiped your head is okay, but recommended in length to be equal to 1 finger length, and in width also 1 finger, or better 3 fingers to do it, So that is the wiping the head. Now, if somebody has too much hair here, should he wipe on the hair or on the skin of the forehead itself? You see, if the hair is adjacent to the skin, it is okay to be wiped. But if the hair is coming from around or is too long, that if you take it, it will touch the face, then on that hair is not allowed. You have to separate the head and wipe the hair which is near to the forehead. Or if it is too long, will go aside or from one side to other side. You keep the hair then. He said it is not to wipe the hair, actually to wipe the head, and that is not the head. So you have to wipe the head or the hair which is near to the skin of the head. It's easier practically to divide the hair so that you reach the skin, so you are sure that you have wiped your head properly. And then to wipe the right feet with the right hand, of course above the feet you have to wipe, not below. Start from the fingers to the joints of the feet, That is obligatory. Now some people, they put their hand on the feet and move it little. He said, no, you have not wiped it all. It's better to put your hand on front of the feet so that you are sure you started from the beginning, and then wipe it to the ankle joint. So you bring it to the ankle joint. 1 finger is sufficient to wipe, but recommended 3 or 5 fingers on 5 fingers. Again here, practical problem. Some people, they keep their hand like this, and maybe the finger will not start from the toes of the feet, the hand, when he put it, not always from the beginning. So it's better to go from the side and start so that you have covered all the obligatory areas, Okay, above is obligatory, not the side of the toe. But you cannot make sure unless you start from the side as a scientific prerequisite for that, So 1 finger is sufficient. 1 finger of the toe or 1 finger of the hand is sufficient. But with 5 fingers, of course, right for the right, left for the left, with 5 fingers is recommended. When you finish wiping the right foot, then you wipe your left foot. Again, at time of wiping, one should not move the foot so that wiping will be reversed. The foot has to be fixed and the hand should wipe. If the foot is moving, especially if some people are standing to wipe, while standing the foot is moving, then actually the foot is wiping the hand, not the reverse. So one has to be stable, put his feet on the floor and then wipe it. So that is the point here. As we said, if there is any barrier which prevents water from reaching the skin, should be removed before wudu. Like lipstick, if it is there, or like nail polish or grease. If somebody working and there is a grease, oil which prevent, if you put ointment on the hand and that ointment prevents water, cream, maybe it is absorbed, and if it is little, it may not prevent water from reaching the skin, but if it is ointment, has to be cleaned, either with tissue paper you remove it or you wash it with soap. So there should be no barrier on the parts which are washed or parts which are wiped. No barrier should be there, so that one perform wudu in a proper way. These are the general things regarding the wudu in the right way. Now, some of the Muslim sects, actually, they wash reverse, start from the finger to the elbow, and instead of wiping the feet, they wash the feet. And they use ayah of the Holy Quran, يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا قمتم إلى الصلاة فاغسلوا وجوهكم وأيديكم إلى المرافق وامسحوا برؤوسكم وأرجلكم إلى الكعبين. They said, the Quran said, wash your face and hands up to the elbow. So, or to the elbow. To the elbow means from the finger to the elbow. That is how they understand it. Well, actually, ila is the limit. Is not here from where to start, where to end. Where to start and where to end. We learned from the Holy Prophet, from Sunnah of the Prophet, how he used to wash his hand, Ila Arabic is limit. You say from here to here. They may say this is the limit. This is my land, is from here to here. It does not mean start from here to there. It may start from there to here. So it is the limit of the land when you say. Now, when you say wash your hand, in Arabic, hand may be for the fingers also. Fingers are called hand. They call part with the name of whole. Part of the thing, part of the hand, may be called with all the hand. That is used in Arabic language. Actually, those who are thieves, they cut their hand. From there, they cut their hand from the fingers. And in some tradition, they cut some of the phalanges also. So that is called hand. As I said, they call part with the name of whole. So that is called hand. From the wrist is hand. From the elbow is hand. To the shoulder is hand. Now, when God said, wash your hand, where is limit of the hand? So he said, limit of the hand is up to the elbow. So wash from here, there. And from Sunnah of the Prophet, we know that we wash it from up, down. That is the washing. We come to the second point. Say, wamsahu, and wipe with bare usukum, with part of your head. If he would have said, wamsahu ru'usakum, and wipe your head, so you have to wipe all your head. And he put be in Arabic means part, and that is what explained, little part, that if somebody see you, said you have wiped, as we said, it is recommended to, in length, to be 1 finger, and with 3 fingers width to wipe. So that is wiping. وَأَرْجُلَكُمْ, and your feet. And here, naturally, when you put and, wipe your head and your feet. What does it mean? Naturally means and wipe your feet. They put between bracket and between 2 brackets, wash your feet. There is no wash. In translations of the Holy Quran, they put some of them to bracket, some of them without a bracket, they put it. Actually, is it not true? They say grammatically here, and wipe your head is object, and your feet also came with be, which is a different, about head and about feet is different. Difficult to explain it in English, the Arabic grammar, but the answer is simply, when you say and in any language, and means it is similar to what was said before. So when you said wipe head, the part of the head and the feet, so we'll go to the wipe. We'll not go to the wash which came first, wash the head and the hands. If he has to say and mean wash, he has to repeat the verb, to say wipe part of your head and wash your feet. So the verb has to be repeated. In Arabic it should be like that, and in English also, or maybe in other languages it is like that. So when we read the ayah of the Holy Quran, properly, it is very clear the verb is wiping, not washing the feet. While some people use general words, okay, washing better than wiping. Actually, this is very silly answer. We are not teaching Almighty God what to do. So we tell God, okay, Almighty God, you said wipe. No, wipe is not good. I will wash. That is better. It's a very, very silly answer, It's not right. First of all, not always washing better than wiping. Not always. If your watch, for example, is out of order, you will not wash it. Otherwise, we'll get rust. Some things to be wiped, cleaned, some things to be washed. Not always using washing better than wiping. And secondly, these are rules and regulations said by Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He knows what is better, what is not better. We do not teach God what to do. Of course, the place of wudu has to be tahir before we wash. If the feet is najis, we have to wash it, make it tahir in advance. If my hand or my face or my lips or skin had something najis in it, I have to wash it in advance so that I perform wudu with a tahir organs of the wudu or limbs, not najis. And if the feet is tahir, there is no dust, no grease, no dirt, no najasat in the feet. Okay, now the rule is to wipe it. Another question comes, some people wipe on the socks or some of the shoes are like a sock. It is a shoes, but it is like a sock because the cover is made of skin, and little cover made of skin. That type of shoes used to be used in the old days. Nowadays, not many are using it. So is it allowed? He said, no, not allowed, because we have to wipe the feet itself, not to wipe the socks above the feet. So that is not right to be wiped. Wiping, the order of the Holy Quran is wipe your feet, not wipe the socks on the feet. Otherwise, if your hand them to be washed, and so you wash the cloth above the hand, the sleeve there, you say this is all right, and you say no, not all right, because your hand has to reach the skin and to wipe skin of the feet in that way. These are the general rules and regulations about the right way of wudu. As I said, just to repeat for remembering it, first of all, the parts of the wudu, I mean the face, hands and forehead and the feet, should be tahir in advance. Second, if there is any barrier, prevent water from reaching the skin, should be removed. Any nail polish should be removed completely. And third, washing it properly one time is obligatory, and probably you stick yourself to that if you don't know the details how to wash it second time. And third, to wash little more than obligatory wash as a scientific prerequisite is necessary. And then the hand should wash the face, or hand should wash the right hand, and so on the left hand, not the reverse, not to move the limbs in that direction. When you wash, you have to make sure that you washed and covered all parts of the skin, not leaving any part unwashed. And when you finish your washing the left hand, do not mix it with external water, but with the same wetness which remained, the same water which remained, water of wudu, which remains in your right and left hands. With right hand you wipe your forehead and your right feet. With left hand you wipe your left feet. Now it is mentioned in certain areas where it is very hot and dry weather is there. Sometimes the hand will get dry quickly, so someone is allowed to take water from his beard only to get little water if his hand is totally dry. Now if the feet you washed it before wudu and you made it dry, but it still is little, not really wet with water, but you feel. So he said if effect of wiping is more, that is okay. But if it is wet with water, naturally here wiping is not possible. So it's not allowed. So you have to dry your feet before, or your forehead, not forehead, I mean the head, which is opposite the forehead, has to be dry. If it is while washing if it is wet, it has to be made dry so that you can wipe your head, and your feet should be dry in order to wipe your feet. These are the general issues which are mentioned here about wudu. You can read them in detail, and if you have any question, you can ask later on if any sentence not clear for you. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, wa sallallahu ala Muhammad wa alihi at-tahirin. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.